Welcome to Katie Did Reviews. I will be reviewing my poll list for January 7th, 2015. This will be a spoiler-free review, and then I will go in depth on each issue in a separate video that will have spoilers. The first issue I will be reviewing is Avengers No More Bowling #1, and I would rate this a 5-star comic. It is for all ages and it is only $1.99. There are going to be 4 stories in it. And there will be no ads in it. It will have matching games and drawing games to make it more interactive for children. So if you have any children that you would want to buy a comic for, I really enjoyed this. And the first stories are really well done, and they all have different authors and different artists to give a different feel to the comic. So check this one out. It's well worth the price. Operation S.I.N #1 is a comic that focuses on Peggy Carter and Howard Stark. It's kind of a tie-in to the TV show that just came out, Agent Carter. It's not an official tie-in because this is going to be set in the 616 universe, and Agent Carter is set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it will deal with Peggy Carter and her being on a mission that was given to her by Howard Stark, kind of like the TV show is as well. And I really did enjoy this. I really liked the interactions and jokes between Howard Stark and Peggy Carter. It really developed Peggy Carter really well. It does explain the differences in the beginning between Peggy Carter and the 2 versions that you would maybe know from the MCU and how she is actually in the 616 universe. The artwork is really good. It kind of gives it a 1930s feel, which is when this would be set, so it's kind of a different feel than you'll get from a lot of the 616 comics, and that's nice to experience different style of artwork. Overall, I would rate this a 4-star comic, but I could see this issue getting a lot better, and this is 1 of 5. It's just a limited series run, so if you have any interest in this, you should go pick it up at your local comic book store. Hawkeye vs. Deadpool #4. This is the final issue of the Hawkeye vs. Deadpool series, 02. I really enjoyed the series. This issue did a really good job of ending it, and there are quite a few jokes throughout this. I laughed aloud quite a lot in this series, but this issue did a really good job. The artwork wasn't as good, in my opinion, as the first couple of issues, but that doesn't mean it was bad. It just didn't live up to 1 and 0 and 1 and 2, in my opinion. Overall, I really enjoy Jerry Dugan's writing. He does a good job of writing Hawkeye like Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, and so that was nice to see. And I really love the focus that he did give to Kate Bishop, and he does Deadpool and all of the Hawkeyes really well. So if you have any interest in this series, I would suggest getting the trade paperback book that will be coming out soon, especially if you like Matt Fraction's Hawkeye. This Hawkeye does live up to that, or if you're a Deadpool fan, this is a good Deadpool series as well. And this, overall, I gave this 5 stars because it was an excellent ending to the series. Angela, Asgard's Assassin #2 is a really good issue and a really good second issue. I really love the artwork in this, and there's 2 different artists in this as well as 2 different writers. There's going to be a main story that is written by Kieran Gillian, and then there's a sub-story that is written by Marguerite Bennett. And that will be happening in all of the issues, supposedly, where they will be switching off who writes the main story and who writes the sub-story inside of it. And they also will have different artists, and both of the artists do an excellent job in this issue. I especially enjoy Stephanie Hans. I think she draws Angela exceptionally well, and is part of the reason I think I like Angela so much. The writing is really good. They're both really excellent writers. And then I really enjoy the interactions between all of the characters in this. I will go more in depth on that in the spoiler review. But overall, this is probably my favorite issue that I picked up this week, and I would rate this 5 stars. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, #1. I had a really fun time reading this issue. There's so many jokes in this issue that it feels like this is just kind of a comedy, but its writing is really well done, so it doesn't just feel like you're getting jokes left and right. It's that you're getting a story that is just a funny story. And then there's also a funny line at pretty much every bottom of the page to kind of get you to laugh and think about what they're saying. I'm not a huge fan of this style of artwork, but I think the artwork really fits the story being told, so don't let that push you away from getting this, because I think the artwork does really well telling the story along with it, and it's just such an amusing story that I think everyone should at least give this issue a try. And overall, I would rate this 5 stars, just because it is such a different take on any comic books being made by Marvel, and so that's alone is a reason to give this first issue at least a try. If you don't like it, that's quite alright, but I think you'll be surprised by how enjoyable it really is.